Y'all, you better live. Yeah, I gotta start with prayer. Always gotta acknowledge God in all things I do. Just like I was telling y'all, I was running a little bit of late, picked my mama up from chemo, dropped her off, and made it here just to come and talk to you. So, what are we talking about tonight? Today's topic is why. Why? Why? And everything that I'm going to bring up, that's exactly is going to be the question. Why? Why? Why in the TH? Why in the fuck? I forgot it's uncensored. I am trying to watch my language though, because I say it is a little unladylike, you know what I mean? But in not in haste, I'm gonna be cursing. I'm gonna be cursing. I'm gonna be cursing. So yes, cover their little ears. And I speaks no evil. I just wanted to give y'all an update real quick on the girl Brittany Griner, who they put in the grinder. I reported to y'all last week, y'all, that it was their own tactic on trying to get something. And was I right? Yes. Talks have already came up. It has just been confirmed by a Russian official that talks to actually trade her off for a arms deal. I forgot his name. I think it's Victor Bout or whatever. So them talks have already been going on. And then also, she put in an appeal, as she should, because I'm telling you, they got this girl over here in this jail that demands her labor, sleeping, and all that for 2 week contracts. If you don't know the story and you don't know the details, I don't know where you've been at, but they definitely played with her. And why? Why? I even seen another report that they even possibility her coming into the U.S. courts because basically they're trying to say that she is detained unjustly and unreasonably. And I agree. I just wanted to give y'all the update on that. Make sure y'all keep up with that because guess what? Any injustice that happens anywhere can affect us everywhere. So y'all better keep on acting like y'all know. Don't be just knowing stuff and then hearing stuff and paying it no mind. Because just like I told you, we be taking trips and we getting on the planes. And then the next thing you know, I've been took my oil and it be illegal over there. And they be trying to lock the gardens up. And what y'all gonna say about that? Y'all been rally for me. So don't speak no death on that situation. All life, y'all better live for Miss Brittany Griner. Pray for her. Love and pray for everybody. We all need it. Just had to get that straight update. Yes. Her sisters are her team. I seen them on the interview hurting. And as they explain, I understand if you don't know her personally, you probably wouldn't care, wouldn't give 2 fucks. But the reality is she's a sister. She's from here. And why? Why they give her 9 years again? I'm trying to understand. I am trying to understand. But that's the what in the world, like what in the world, right? Y'all know how we run the segments. So who I gotta talk about? I gotta talk about some stuff going on here in Baltimore. And who they played with the most. Oh, why? The Queen, Marilyn Mosby. Marilyn Mosby, y'all. They just gagged her, just gave her a gag order, said that she commented online. I forgot what social media source says that she commented online, and basically what the comment that she made was, don't believe everything you hear. She said she was speaking in regards to someone making a statement that she had just lost the election to Ivan Bates. But people speculate, and the judge also agreed, who gave her the gag order, that what she said was in reference to this case that's now been tried 4 times, just got, well, it's ready to be 5 now, but the 5th time he will be tried. Who is it? Kevin Daniels Jr. has been tried already 4 times for murder here in Baltimore. The Pimlico security guard, right? And 2 times he's had a mistrial, hung jury, and 2 times he's been convicted, but then it's been overturned. So he'll be coming up on his 5th trial. And someone made a comment about it on a social media platform, someone or some type of advocacy group that has been advocating on his behalf, saying that, they just running it in a hole. And a comment after that was made about that she lost the election. And when that comment came about, Marilyn responded, I wouldn't believe everything that I read something of that sort. I ain't quoting her, but it was something of that sort. I believe she was talking in reference to that because she's a smart woman. So I couldn't see why she would even, especially in a case like that that's already been tried 4 times with the extending that, why she would even try it like that to speak on that. But yeah, they didn't gag Miss Marilyn Mosby, the Queen Marilyn Mosby, the one who didn't do anything wrong to us, but do right by us. And that's just another thing that I want to talk on. Like, what Black woman here in Baltimore City has not been in the politics, NL, Maryland government, state government, city government, however it's labeled, and they have not tried to diminish their character. Everybody. Pew, Stephanie, who else was the? Oh, Sheila. I know y'all know about Sheila, how they did Sheila, honey, with them gift cards. But yeah, that's what they do. So yeah, they didn't gag Marilyn Mosby, $1,500 fine. But the judge, thank you, says that she will not have to pay the fine if she stays to these tighter restrictions of not speaking anything on the case for 90 days. So Marilyn Mosby, I know you've been speaking up all the time for us. Just be quiet, sis, because they've been hating you from the beginning. Ever since you put them charges on them police who killed Freddie Gray, okay? They was not living for you. They wanted sister to come in and take a seat and do like everybody else, and she wasn't for it. She was really a state's attorney, in my opinion, that was for the people. And now that she will no longer be in the office, the police is running amok. I would like to even speak on something else that just got dismissed. It was about 25 correctional officers from a special unit. I'm gonna look at all the details, y'all. Y'all know I'll be having my knowledge over here, right? So these officers were on a unit called the TAC unit. They worked in the Department of Corrections, the pretrial facility, the Baltimore State Corrections Department, Baltimore City Intake, and they wore different uniforms. So these officers were charged with intimidation, evidence of tampering, utilizing excessive force on inmates, and all of that, y'all. This was between the times of 2016 and 2018. I do believe that because of COVID and everything's been delayed, but yeah, they just dropped their charges. And now the word is that these correctional officers were suspended without pay. Now they're trying to go to the city for their back pay. Saying that these charges destroyed their life, saying that their children were bullied and everything else like that for the charges. But guess what? I'm likely to believe it. It's funny how when that shoe on other foot, y'all can understand how something isn't destroying someone's life, how it can affect someone's family. And of course, they speaking on it as if it never happens. When do you know how they deal with people in law enforcement? They act like they're not human and they can do no wrong. Truth be told, everybody know about the intimidation. Everybody know about the excessive force and all that happens in these correctional facilities. So this TAC unit was basically over there bullying people, doing what they do. The culture here, when it comes to law enforcement, roughing us up, not giving a fuck. And now they ready to just be done with it, possibly back working into the correctional facility. So why? Come on, y'all. Talk to me about it. What you think about that? I first just was bringing it up because I just could not believe. I'm gagging for Ms. Marilyn Mosby that they put a gag order on her. But $1,500, she can be quiet, and then she won't have to pay it if she doesn't say anything else. But also, it's just real crazy to me that people don't get it, that a lot of these cases that is dwindling, getting thrown out and everything else like that, it don't even really have anything to do with the crime. It has to do with the dislike. But the state's attorney, I ain't even gonna speak on it and say that she wasn't getting support and everything like that with the rest of the attorneys in her office. But we're not gonna sit around here and act like They haven't been hunting her head from the beginning. And all she did was be there for us. So I just wish her the best. But yeah, look out for that tag force, y'all. Don't get locked up. Don't even be on the street. They say don't do nothing. Because now that Miss Marilyn Mosby is leaving out the office, they said they gonna do what they've been doing. They gonna do what they've been doing, and that's just basically locking you up for any and everything. So watch your head, keep your crown high, because it goes down in Baltimore City. Everybody know it. Everybody know it. You know, with this tech unit, like they said, it's just a culture. It's something that is allowed. They don't care. How many times have you been harassed by the police? Not even taken over to any of these facilities. How many times have you been accosted? I still have traumas from my childhood when they was kicking in my door, my grandmother's door, for nothing, harassing, cursing, pulling, tugging on my elderly folks, on my grandmother, on my mother, talking about them badly, threatening us. If we say this, if we say that, yeah, that's what they do. So for the life of me, I can't help but to believe it, that these 25 officers was over here doing that. They say you innocent until you proven guilty, but at the same time, they don't do us like that. They don't do us like that. How many lives have they destroyed? How many people have they have locked up unjustly, made up shit, putting guns on people, drugs on people, anything that they can think of, and never worried about your family being destroyed, never worried about it, never worried about it, never worried about the backlash that your family would get, your children would get, or none of that. So I don't live for that, but you better live, Praise go out to the sister Marilyn Mosby for real too, because she's still going through some legal battles of her own. And it's not over. Even though she's out of the office, they definitely did what they wanted to do with her from the jump. And if you think anything else, you crazy. But tell me how you think about it. Did y'all hear about this gag order? Did you hear about these 25 tech unit correctional officers, all of their charges being dropped, which is crazy to me, because they said that these guys were over there like gang related activity. What was actually the charge? It was something like that of the sort. Give it a gang statute. But that's why they saying that was one of the reasons that it got dropped, because of the verbiage and what they were charged with, that it was like unheard of. That's what get me, like, really unheard of. When y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's what. Why? Stop playing. Yeah. So now we're going to have to deal with Ivan Bates, who has been in discussions with the men and everything else like that about things, hoping they can get on the same page. Yeah, praying for both of them brothers as well. But yeah, y'all, watch yourself, because it's the culture, and from the looks of it, ain't much changing. And I feel as though Marilyn Mosby, a change was coming. It was. And they ain't like it. And then all the crime that's here and has been here, they blamed it on her. No, I don't want people out selling drugs and doing, using drugs and doing everything just in the open. But at the end of the day, everybody who is charged with a crime is not a criminal. And I think that's what she's saying. She's seeing the disproportion and how we are like unfairly treated, how they lock us up for nothing. How I've worked in a system where I advocated for youth down at the juvenile services. How many times those kids would do kid-like things, probably on a little bit of the next level. I ain't gonna lie for them. But however, if they was in another town, county, because they was in Baltimore, but if they was in Baltimore County, or their skin wasn't black, because you know what they give, white is always right, and then black is whack. So if their skin was the white is right, they wouldn't have the same repercussions and the same consequences. And that's just what it is. And you better live, because yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Come and talk to me though, y'all. Get up in these chats, like, comment, and share. Tell me what you think about it. You have any topics or something that's on your mind, anytime, feel free to holler at me because I want to talk about it. And on this show, I already told you, we're going to get to know and we are going to grow together. So moving right along, we was on the Marilyn Mosby, right? Moving right along, as I was talking about, it's so much death. And it's more to life than dying. So please just live. I know it's so much going on in the world, so much we cannot understand. And it's just all God's plan. That's where my faith lies. That's where my faith lies. You can't only rejoice. If it wasn't for pain, you wouldn't know about joy. If it wasn't for trials, and tribulations, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know about the good part of it. So all things are happening for your good. Hold on. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep reigning. Keep praying to God. Keep giving all praises to him. And you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Because see, what I can't take is that everybody always speaking on so much love, but then they show so much hate. The person that proclaim to be so real be mostly fucking fake. And on that note, as I'm talking about grieving and all that other stuff, my girl, well, she was all right. But rest in peace to Anne Heche. Heche, like Haitian, but Heche. I did a little run trying to get that last name right, y'all. It's Heche. The sister was involved in a fatal car crash on August the 5th. She ran into a home in Florida and her blue Mini Cooper that set ablaze. No one originally knew anybody was in the car, but they say she burned up, had serious injuries to her lungs, brain injuries, and all of that of the sort. And originally, when she ran into this house, well, when they came to, I guess, rescue her and they took her to the hospital, they did a toxicology report, which reported that she was impaired. So they immediately started a federal investigation for DUI, which raised it from the misdemeanor level because of the extent of the accident. However, she was not able to ever be questioned because of the extent of her injuries. Since that day of August the 5th, she remained in a coma for 7 days on the respirator. Basically, they were trying to maintain her organs for a possible donor. I did see information that someone was able to get some of her organs. But yeah, just such a tragedy. That lady, she started off in the stories, I believe. I was reading something that she's been working since she's been 12 years old. Several roles, several TV roles, several movies. And I also was looking that she had a podcast lately that talked about friendships and family ships and everything else like that. So rest in peace to Anne Heche, like Haitian. That's how my producer tried to coach me on the pronunciation, but rest in peace to her. But yeah, it's just crazy too. I bring her up and there's and that happening, it just brought me to the thoughts of saying, just like the toxicology report, what they say, white is right and black is always whack. Had it been me, you really haven't seen anything about it. Had it been me, had it been you, had it been anybody. It's been several black actors who have passed away tragically and suddenly. And that's the main thing that they talk about, is about their substance abuse. I know it is an issue. I know no one chooses to be addicted. No one chooses to be a junkie. I mean, you don't wake up and choose that you want to be that way. But I do believe, in the breaks of stuff, you do have the choice. But one day at a time, guys. And keep going back to your meetings and everything else like that if you're in treatment. But it just bothers me sometimes because you really don't hear anything about it. I went online to see, get some information about it. They released a 911 call on a person's home that she ran into 10 feet into this individual's home. And the lady sounded terrified. A neighbor across the street was watching Anne Heche burn up, not knowing. They had no idea who had ran into her home. But yeah, that's happened. is even something else reporting that prior to that, 3 miles out, she stopped in the town in a salon and purchased a wig. The owner was reporting that she went for, I think, a blue one. They didn't have it, and so she decided on a red. That's why I wanted to report on this. I'm like, oh my goodness, she was going into the red. She was going into the red, going to get a red wig. And when she pulled off, unfortunately, she was involved in this accident. And from the looks of it, it had something to do with her being intoxicated. However, later it came out that allegedly the narcotics found in her system could have something to do with some form of medical treatment. I don't know. But originally they were thinking she may have survived. They had already started their investigation. And of course, they certainly switched it up. They're going to make that right white. And no disrespect to the family or anything else like that. I'm going to even take it away from her. Because like I said, rest in peace. And Heche, you will be missed. You definitely was talented. And, Hollywood is losing a star. What about the other store? Heche. That's right. Give me the gavel. Give me the gavel. Come on through. And Heche, like Haitian. Heche. But yeah, it's been so many Black Hollywood stars have died tragically, but baby, they will forever bring up. Had it been one of them, they would have had this fire ablaze on the news. They would have already went and interviewed these people. They would have kept bringing up the fact that she was high, was under the influence. So I'm just saying. Come on, y'all, talk to me. Phone lines are open, 443-642-9403. Let's talk about it. I already gave you the update on Brittany Griner. Yes, discussions are in the making that she may possibly be getting a trade-off. Yes, she may. And I told you, Russia was up to their shenanigans like they do. They trying to get their arm dealer back. Then Mr. Bout. For real, they trying to get them guns back over there. So what I'm saying is, send them back. Get the sister out. If he come over here with that foolishness, lock him up again. That's all I'm saying. Get her out. Then I spoke on Marilyn Mosby. They didn't gag Miss Marilyn Mosby. What else can they do to her? I know at this point, she's unbothered for real. I've been blessed to be in a couple of settings with her. Very positive, powerful sister. I'm telling you, she showed love like no other. And she definitely was for the people. So keep Miss Marilyn Mosby in your prayers, y'all. But she done gagged her, and they done gagged her. And don't get online asking no questions, tempting the sister, because you know how we do. Don't do that to her. Because it's like I said, every Black woman that they ever had in this city government, they done shut them down under a bad light. Under a bad light. That's what they do. That's what they do to our sisters. Our brothers too. It's not just the sisters, it's the brothers too. Because see, you'll have somebody in there, just like we got Brandon Scott in there. People will say that he's the worst, but Martin O'Malley and whoever else, they was the best. And y'all need to go on with that. Why? I don't understand it. But that's definitely what it gives. So the phone line's open, 443-642-9403. I'm ready to go on a break real quick, but you come right on back to me. Talk to me, y'all. You know what it is and you know what it gives. It's more than like than done. So, you better live. Come back. I ain't going nowhere. Boom, boom. Oh, am I still on here?
This was my boy, Emmett Till. I got a letter today from Auntie Lizzie. She said Bo's been working the fields. I can't imagine. Oh, he just doesn't understand how different things are in Mississippi. Are you listening?
Yes.
Be small down there.
Like this?
Emmett never thought anything would happen to him.
Eat the mommy, Simmy!
Ow! He just wanted to go on vacation and have fun with his cousins. But if my son could just get his feet back onto the Chicago soil, he'd be one happy kid. I don't know why I said that.
I want to talk to you about that boy.
They've come for you. It's hard to describe what a mother knows. The first thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time. My hand knew him with my eyes closed, just like I know his laughter in a crowded room. It's the same thing when you know all of someone. This was my boy, Emmett Till.
The body of Emmett Lewis Till has been found dead.
Can I at least just fix them up a bit?
No, they have to see it for themselves.
You tell me, Mamie, how is risking your life gonna help them?
Those pictures of your son change people's lives.
I can't look, baby. We have to. The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
Unmute.
Oh, y'all couldn't hear me. And just like that, we black. We is black. We black. We black. We black. We black. No, we back. Y'all know we black, right? That's that. But like I was saying, they say black is wet and white is right. And it just ain't right. Wow. But I just wanted to run it down back again to y'all because, like I said, I was late coming through here for y'all tonight. You know, to catch me every Thursday at 7 live right here, Be Exposed Radio with your goddess, ChasReal, the Empress, Lady Cake Mix, bringing you your news and our views. The phone lines are open, 443-642-9403. So join me. Come on. Come talk to me. Come talk to me, y'all. So I gave an update on Brittany Griner, what I knew that they were going to do their negotiations. We also talked on, I want to bring it back, about the gag order on Marilyn Mosby, but just give you more insight on some of the cases. I just wanted to point out a couple of things. For what she got the gag order for making a comment saying, I wouldn't believe everything I hear or read or something to the sort, in relevance to the case of Mr. Kevin Daniels Jr., who is being tried for murder now 4 times right here in Baltimore City for the killing of Kevin Jones, who was a security guard at Pimlico Racetrack. But this trial, this case has been through several state's attorneys, not just Marilyn Mosby, okay, guys? This was something from like back in 2015. So I don't know how many times it got to be tried by Marilyn Mosby. I wanted to make that clear. But all of the 4 trials were not under her watch, okay? 2 of the trials ended in a mistrial, hung jury. And 2 of them, he eventually received convictions. However, the convictions were overturned. So now he's just been granted a new trial, which would be his 5th time being tried for this murder. And when he is, she won't even be in the seat to oversee this or whatever. So my opinion is, I don't think our comment was in regards to that, but anything they can get on the queen, they're going to get on the queen, right? And then also, in addition to that, right? She had brung charges on 25 tech unit correctional officers who worked in several departments of corrections here in the state, who were charged under a gang statute for using excessive force, intimidation, and tampering with evidence. Now, it's said that even though all of the charges were dropped through them, who reported that? Hold on, Mark Vernarelli. Y'all know I'll be messing up last names, y'all, because my last name, Dorsey, is kind of like simple to me, but his last name, he is the Corrections Department spokesperson, Mark, Vernarelli. He reports that a decision to not prosecute came down from the highest level of the state's attorney office. Okay, so that's the reason why he's saying they're not prosecuting them. However, he was clear that the Corrections Department is still going to do their internal investigation in the case. And then the officers are possibly going up to get their wages back because they've been on suspension with no pay, rightfully so. And just like I pointed out, I bet it happened. I bet you it happened. I bet you it happened. You know, some of the reports that I'm getting on this and reading it, like I said, they be giving like, because there's a police or anybody in law enforcement, they can do no wrong. And that's just so wrong to me. Why? Why they be feeling like that? Why they be feeling like that? Why? Do you know? Come talk to me and tell me what you think. Come on and talk to me and tell me what you think. But even if you're not talking to me today, hey, I'm here every Thursday at 7, right here on a You Better Live. But yeah, that was the gist of it. The 25 officers, all of their charges are being dropped, and it destroyed their lives, they saying. But how many lives have been destroyed? How many people have been falsely arrested, falsely charged, and falsely detained? I got family members in jail who ain't do nothing. Well, they say everybody in jail, so they ain't do nothing right. Everybody in jail is innocent. But no, for real, y'all. Like for real. 25, the whole TAC unit, just like they did the gun task force. So why is it unlikely? Why do people think that this can't happen? Why? Why do they think that? Why is that the culture? Why is that mentality in there that when it's one of them, they always giving like, nope, it didn't happen. And especially they saying that they was in the intake down at Central Booking. I know they didn't rough some people up. Especially they said that they was in there. It didn't definitely happen. And that is no shame because I know some good police out here. You know, one of them I know that retired, Officer Lee. Officer Charles Chuck Lee. I loved him. You know, he was definitely for the community. He was very into community policing. But yeah, that's their culture. That's their mentality. And the way I feel about it is that you're in that environment long enough, unfortunately, you're going to adapt some of them behaviors. I know. That's why it wasn't never for me. I could never go into corrections, but salute to them. Everybody need a job. Everybody need their dollar or whatever, or what have you. But I don't live for it, you know, because if I'm going into jail every day, all day, you try to keep that attitude. You try to be a certain way or whatever, but it's going to rub off on you. The same thing with the Baltimore Police Department. It's not only the white officers that have accosted us and have arrested us. It's our brothers and sisters too. Because when you're in the environment, what they say, one bad apple will spoil the bunch. And that's the truth. That's the truth. But anyway, I guess, you know, y'all testing me. You got to bring on something messy for people to want to get involved and want to talk about it. Oh, that's what y'all doing? No comments, no calls. I still live for it. I love y'all. I love y'all. Keep on going on. But, you know, I be on social media just like y'all, well, on and off of there, right? And I ran into this video. I'm going to show it y'all. And y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Come on, Mom. Bring it on up. Yes. It's coming,
You're
y'all.
trying to keep me on my toes because you tried it. Because I wasn't.
Oh.
I was not ready. Okay.
I was appalled. But it's okay. Time is on our side. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. While he pulling up this video, y'all, I was gagging. Like they gagged Miss Marilyn Mosby. I was gagging.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Look at this, y'all. Catch this out.
You haven't lost your mind. Don't touch me ever in your life. You touched me first, and then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my personal space. Get out of my bed! No, I'm not. You fucking faggot! I'm here. You fucking I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. You're touching me again. You're touching me again. You're touching me again. It's all on purpose. It surely is. It's surely, but you in my personal space. You're in my personal space. You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. She's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm telling you, don't put, she can't put her hands on me.
Okay, stop it! Hey, hey!
Don't you ever put your hands on me. No, get everybody back off from me. This bitch
No, watch out. You ain't gonna fight that woman, bro.
You got the wrong person.
Don't fight that woman, bro.
You got the wrong person. You can't put my hands on me.
Hey, relax, relax.
Relax. I fight whoever. I fight whoever.
Take a deep breath.
Put your hands on me. I fight whoever. Put your hands. I fight whoever. I fight whoever. Knock your bitch ass out. Knock me out. Knock me out. Knock me out.
It's okay.
Knock
It's
me out.
okay.
You saw what she did.
It's all right.
Why? See, originally when I viewed it, I didn't realize that somebody did try to break them up.
I was about to say, I see something new every time I see this.
Yes, every time because Monty, that's what I was ready to say. Come on in here and talk to me, right?
Because I see something new every time I see this video, because now I'm seeing that this guy, who apparently was sitting in the gallery while this was all happening, after she done put her hands on this man several different times, now he wants to say you're not going to fight no woman. Okay, but where were you when she was doing all she was doing? Why you ain't stopped her from putting her hands on him before it turned into him having to defend himself?
That part.
It's still right. It's just
All I'm gonna say is
you always got to put yourself in that situation. So I keep putting myself.
You do, and it's crazy that you right. It's crazy that you say that, Monty.
She wouldn't have got up off the floor when she made the mistake and fell over top of those chairs. She wouldn't have got up.
She almost
would have been holding her down.
She almost didn't because he knocked her on her head. But I like how you say it's crazy you say that, because I put myself in his shoes and I just was looking like, woo. Did ChasReal jump into his body? Because he said she done lost her mind, because he certainly lost hers. That's what I was saying originally when I seen it. I said, okay, I see the brother's point of jumping up, right? And saying you're not going to fight this woman. But where was he when the argument first pursued? Like, why y'all ain't come over there and try to help the brother, whatever? And then he made the statement like, you saying what she did. And I was saying, why nobody tried to break it up? But then when I looked at it again, I see that somebody actually was in the middle. And that's when she even went harder. And that's when she reached over that person and slapped that man. Called that man faggies and all that. I heard that too.
For that, she pushed him.
I heard that. Yes, pushed him, was in his personal space and everything. Y'all better stop playing with these spur employees. Because the spur it is and what they be giving is fuck this job. I will fuck you up. And he lost his mind because she lost hers, putting her hand on that man. I don't play with no man. I do not play with no man. They will knock you. Yeah, I mean, he could have walked away. What you think, Mom? He could have walked away, but I think at that time he was just already there.
But why would he have walked away?
Yes.
He's at work. Yes. This is his job.
I'm up in the chat.
A part of his job also as an airline employee is also to maintain safety.
Right.
So you being belligerent and doing all of that, he was not wrong. He was wrong for being that close. I do disagree with him having to be that close. Even though she was pushing against him as well, he still should have maintained appropriate distance for safety of his own self.
Yes.
We were still dealing with COVID. Why are you all up in this chick face? Ew. That time, you know, that young bumping up against each other, we gonna fight. That's childish.
Yeah.
One. Because if you just gonna fight her, just hit her. Because I consider you bumping up against me, that's assault too. So I have every right to defend myself against that.
But you know, it's something about something like when people is arguing and then people get up and stand in the middle and do that. Sometimes, you know, it makes it more than what it is.
But I'm talking about that chest bumping thing that they was doing the whole at the beginning of the video. I think that's still kind of a part of assault. Don't put your chest on me either. I don't want you rubbing your titties up on me like that.
I'm looking at the chats. My sister Rainy Ring said, wow is right. I'll be the hog. I'm telling you, Michael said she would have been over the bookings. He said she would have been on the bookings. So you would have restrained yourself and pressed charges. Is that what you're saying, Mike?
I mean, quite frankly, I probably wouldn't have left from behind the counter. I would have already had called airport security because she would have missed her flight. He still would have been working. She would have missed her flight because she would have been detained by TSA.
But she got some extra spurt up in her when they stepped in between the door, Mommy.
See, this is why I don't ride the
He was fussing and she was
actually dead on Spirit Airlines. You're not gonna catch me dead on what's the other one? Blue.
Oh my God, I live for it. You said no, man.
Yeah, it seems like it's no rules on those flights.
It's no rules, and like I said, the Spirits, because I just seen a couple of things of people getting in with the Spirit airline employees, and they don't be for it. They don't be having it. I don't know if they got them spurs in them or what. They just took a little drink.
Everybody is that close to meeting God. Okay.
Yes, it's a spirit. It's a spirit. Something that's lingering or whatever. But yeah, she was wrong. He was wrong too. But she hit him. Excuse me, y'all. She hit him. And just like we said, if you is ready to put your hands on somebody, get ready for hands to be put on you.
You gotta take the counter effect of that. When you put your hands on somebody, you gotta actually defend. You gotta actually prepare yourself for the reaction.
I mean, what he was supposed to do? And then at the end of the day, like I say, stop messing with people. You don't know what people is going to do.
She was all jittery and stuff. I don't know what it would seem like. I'm playing.
She was being belligerent, and then also in that part, I heard him calling him several names, doing all of that. He said, "Get out my personal space. Stop doing all that." Somebody jumped in the middle of him, and the next thing you know, she reaches over the man to slap the man, and he lost it. That bitch put her hands on me.
You haven't lost your mind. Don't touch me ever in your life. You touch me first, and then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my personal space.
Get out of my face!
No, I'm not.
You fucking faggot!
I'm here.
You fucking
I'm here.
I'm here.
You're touching me again. You're touching me again. You're touching me again.
It's all on
It surely is. It's surely, but you in my personal space. You're in my personal space. You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. She's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm telling you, don't put she can't put her hands on me.
Hey, stop it! Hey!
Yeah, he banged down the back of her head.
It wasn't really no bang though. It was like he dropped a hammer on my head.
He came down with the spirit.
Hey, relax.
I fight whoever. I fight whoever. I'll fight
He
you.
had to say
Knock
that.
your bitch ass
Just
out. Knock me out.
relax.
Knock me out.
Relax.
Knock me
It's
out.
okay.
She had to say
Knock
what?
me out.
Okay.
He had to say fight me and all of that because him making that comment, it's given to me like he's just acting like this man.
Right. I don't know but see, I think he was saying stuff out of anger. That's the only reason why he was saying stuff like that, because it was no reason for him to jump in to say
fight me.
Right. No, what he said was it was hyper masculinity right there. That's what that was.
Right, fight a man.
It was you ain't gonna fight no man like that. What makes you think that?
Yeah.
Why do you think that wouldn't be the case? If that was you, if you was the woman, it would be the same scenario happen right now, in my belief.
Yes.
I don't think you should be saying you ain't gonna fight no man like that, because this situation wasn't between two men. It was between a woman and a man, and she was man enough to step up to him.
Right.
She man enough to get beat up.
And it's not like it just was like a situation like this brother just was starting with her and just was trying to fight on this lady. Like for you to make that comment, like how he said, you see what she did? You see what she did.
If you stop stepping, you won't have these problems. Act like you're supposed to act when you're at an airport. One, you're sitting around here with all these federal agents sitting around your whole entire body at a freaking airport.
Right. Because you remember originally,
for sure, neither one of them probably got out of this unscathed. She's probably in detainment, and he probably got fired.
I don't know, honey, because it seemed like she was like Mexican, Puerto Rican, or whatever, but her skin is still a little light. So
I don't think that doesn't matter at the airport.
And that black white.
Unfortunately, that doesn't matter at the airport. Your skin color plays no part at the airport because you can be a terrorist. Period.
But see, that's why I was saying originally, like, why ain't nobody else try to break it up? And you was bringing up the point, like, nobody want that fight delayed. Don't nobody want to mess with that.
Nobody's going to jump in there because everybody wants to get from point A to point B. We done packed for 2 days now. Ain't nobody got time for this. Y'all go here and fight because I don't understand why I still wouldn't have got up. That would have been between them and TSA because I stayed in my place. Oh, look at them fighting.
But it was a man that did try to get in the middle of it. And the point that I was making is that
he looked like he was an employee too.
In the middle, once that man stepped in the middle, she went on.
He looked like he was an employee. So
once that man stepped in the middle, she should have just went ahead.
He probably did call for backup, which is why, like I said, this would have been a TSA. As a passenger, I'm staying out of it because now you're a witness. You could be called because you've also been now, promoted all worldwide on this video. So you could be called in any case that is brought up because he has a lawsuit. The employee actually has a lawsuit.
Yes, he does.
Because you shouldn't have put your hands on him for him to actually have to act this way. Because if you heard what he said in the beginning, he said, you came up to my counter and put your hands in my face.
And if you looking at it too, like even when they were saying that, and he was saying you in my personal space, and he was going.
That's what he kept saying. You were in my personal space because he said she came up to his counter and she put her hands in his face.
And I think at that point he was already irritated to the fact that's where they're at, arguing. And then she's like, keep touching them. So what?
I bet you she had a few drinks at the bar, at the airport bar.
She had them spurs in her. She had them spurs in her and spurs, but he came down with that lightning bolt, baby. And see, originally I thought that he had tackled her. But now when you look at it again, she tripped and he tripped and landed on her, but he got up to make sure he was going to get that lick back.
And that probably made him even more mad. Him actually having he tripped too with her and fell over top of her. So now he's pissed that he fell.
Oh yeah, he was mad, but he got up, baby, like it was a fumble on that football team, and like she was, and like she was ready to run for that touchdown because he made sure that he came down with that. That's on top of her head. What you love?
And then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my face.
Get out of my face!
No, I'm not.
You fucking faggot!
I'm here.
I'm here.
You're touching me again.
You're touching me again.
You're touching me again.
It's all on
you surely is. But you in my personal space. You're in my personal space. You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. She's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm telling you, don't put she can't put her hands on me. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, stop it! Hey, hey!
No, back off from me!
No, watch out, man. You ain't gonna fight that water, bro.
But originally when I seen this, I was like, okay, I was like, salute to the brother that's at the end of his victory. Like right now, he got the
Hey, relax, relax.
This block, let's just break it up. Try to console the brother.
Take a deep breath.
Put your hands on me. Whoever. Put your hands. I'll fight whoever. I'll fight whoever. Knock your bitch ass
Just
out.
relax.
Knock me out. Knock your bitch ass out.
That right there. All that
It's
walking up
okay.
against each other. That's
Knock
not
me out.
okay.
Because I'm not gonna keep putting my chest on you. I'm just gonna go ahead and slap you. Like I ain't time for all of that. I'll fight whoever. I fight whoever. I understand what you're saying. Then do it. He just got froggy, but you knocked this nigga out.
Yes.
Because he was asking to fight. He asked to fight. That's why he got in the situation, because that's what he wanted to happen. He wanted to be involved.
I mean, at first when he jumped up, it looked like he was, trying to encourage the brother, like, come on, bro, you don't fight this woman. You're not going to fight this woman. But then it took it to another level when he was like, you ain't going to fight no man like that. Hit me.
That part, that hyper-masculinity crap. That will get your ass whipped. It will get your ass whooped.
But again, he was saying that as if he just like witnessed somebody being outside and like this is a couple and like this man just out of the blue started beating on this lady.
Right. And that's not how it played out. That's not
all
how
this
it
disrespect right here. You ain't see all that, how this lady, somebody got in the middle and tried to break them up. And she reached over that man, tapped the one time, and then came around with a big slap. Boop. And he was going to get that lick back. He was going to get that lick back. So when I be sitting, I be watching these videos where I be like, baby, they catch everything on camera now. They catch everything on camera now. And if he had caught her, she would have looked like Dora. She would have looked like Dora, baby. That's all I'm going to say. Dora was cute, but that bob was cut short and straight, and that head was swollen. So if he would have caught up with her.
Not the bob. I want you to cut Bob alone.
The bob. The bob was straight. You see how her hair was hanging? He was going to, baby, he was going to cut her. He already brung that big lightning bolt down on her head. Yeah, she should have not touched that man. You was wrong.
Everything that your monkeys is doing, what your monkeys is doing is what everybody in the airport should have been doing in this altercation. I don't think anybody should got involved. I think whatever should have happened and been broken up by TSA, the actual security of an airport. Like I said, because all of those people that got involved can be called into question.
Oh,
once TSA gets there. No, what I'm saying about that is because TSA is an investigative body also.
Okay.
So everybody that was there and got involved, if they get a hold of that video, could have been detained from their flight as part of the investigation.
We're already be on the delay.
It just behooves them that had minded their business completely, just watched.
Spur already be on the delay, honey. So I definitely would have tried to mind my business. But I really believe like if it would have just went on and the brother wouldn't have stepped out, he wouldn't have caught her. You see how fast she was out of there. She was gone.
Right.
She was gone. She was already sitting on the plane. She was sitting on the plane. They ain't even bored. She was sitting on a.
But she already knew as this started, her flight was canceled. Regardless, she wasn't getting on no airplane. Because now this has happened with an employee of your airline. You wasn't going nowhere.
He was on one of them planes, baby.
But if he would have been smart enough and if he wouldn't have been in anger, he would have already went back to his computer and been like, sorry, man, I have to pull you off the flight.
Okay.
And she would have shut her ass up. I think she would have shut up right quick. If you continue, you ain't going no damn way. Not on Spirit. Not under my power. I just canceled your flight, ma'am. You might as well go get your suitcase.
And that's the Spirit. Call me what you want to call me.
Because I can fight you on better terms than this. You want to keep waving your hand in my face and all that stuff? I ain't gonna beat you up. Go home, bitch.
Yes.
Because you're not going nowhere today.
So now you know what? Response is everything. So just know that, guys. Response is everything. You know, people is going
that is within their power. The other flight attendants, they can send you home for belligerence.
They should have gagged her that way, like they did Mosby. Look,
no, because we run a peaceful airline around here, and if you want to act like this, you can act like this at home, but you won't be on my 737 Boeing.
Because that's not the spirit.
You are going to get that in here, ain't you?
Because that's not the spirit. That's not the spirit. But he let her know. He let her know, don't put your hands on me. And he was warning her. Oh, that's all he kept on saying. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me.
I would have warned you more. Don't put your hands in my face.
She wasn't going to do it. But when that man stepped in the middle of them, she got an extra spirit.
My first call would have been the baggage claim. Can you pull so-and-so's bag off that plane? She's not going. The second call would have been the TSA.
Yes.
She's not going on flight to Florida today.
I would have pulled her together. All the names and everything. She called me over the store. That's okay. It's all right. I hear you.
She would have been already in her. Can we get her a cab, or we going to press charges? How you want to do this?
Something. She's already in my face, and she already is threatening me and all that.
She's going home. She's not getting on this flight. There's something wrong with this one.
She would have been bored. She'd have been bored off of that flight. Off of the airlines.
The airline.
You think he lost his job?
I hope not, because he was so not in the wrong. But that's street vernacular for not being in the wrong.
Come on now.
Professionally, he was wrong because he should have called for assistance.
I agree.
And because he's not security, he should not have been in the altercation. Like, he should have stayed behind his counter and called security.
That's it.
So he may have lost his job over this, or at the least a suspension.
Yes.
And it may have been a paid suspension, because I bet you they all believe that he was right. He wasn't wrong for defending himself.
What you
but it professionally, and because this video is out, it does not scream professionalism.
Yes.
That's the only problem.
And it don't look right.
Mm-mm.
It don't look right.
Because as a professional, as an airline employee, he should have called security. He shouldn't have been the one bucking and all, doing all of that, but chest bumping and touching the passenger.
Yeah, sure. So get it together, y'all. You know I live for y'all, and y'all better live. I'm telling you.
If I was his supervisor, unfortunately, I would have had to send him home.
We gotta learn and we gotta grow together. So when the people on your job, they're getting on your nerves, no matter where you work at, and you at a McDonald's, a Burger King, you down at them courts and all that other stuff, don't do it. Don't do it. Your response is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, that's my thing too. I'm not an arguer. I'm not no fussy person. We'd have been fine. But even if you look at it at the beginning, right, and she was touching him, he could have been knocked her. I don't think that was it. I think that once that man got into it, she slapped that man in his face.
Right. None of that was wrong if you're in the streets. None of that was wrong in the streets. But at the airport, when you are the person that should have been behind the counter, your position is to stay behind that counter. You came from around that counter and still intended to get into an argument with a passenger. That's where the unprofessional left the building. You should have stayed behind that counter and used that courtesy phone right there to call security.
And that's what I would have did.
Use the powers at your hand. You got powers at your disposal other than getting into an altercation with your passengers. Like I said, one of your things is that you can remove somebody from a flight. That is your job.
Then went on because I know they checked them on that too, to get into the second altercation with this man.
Yeah.
So like, all right, after he said what he said, you're not gonna fight this woman, and then he, but I understand that he was already there though.
Mm-hmm.
He was already there though, so like he was in fight mode. Like anybody can get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was in fight mode, but if that man would have said what he said, then he would have. So that even made it even worse.
Agreed.
It made him look bad. It made him look crazy. So.
Right, because because it's also understandable that he felt that way because that other guy did approach him with a threat. That's a threat. Fight me like that. Fight me like that. That's a threat.
Yes. It's if he just was fighting this lady for nothing. And so even did you hear his calm in his voice and say, come on, after he said all that, I fight whoever. He was like, yeah, you know what you seen what she did.
Mm-hmm.
You seen what she did.
Mm.
So why?
I would like to hear how she feels about this too. I wonder if she's somewhere talking about how she feel about the way she, act, the way she.
She crime victim. She crime victim.
Mm.
Trust and believe me, she crime victim because that's the precedence of it. That is a man and that's a woman, and it looks like he's the ultimate aggressor because it's like he chased her, and then somebody else had to step in, attempt to de-escalate, but was actually escalating where he was at, and he was ready to fight the other man too.
Yeah, the escalation was when he left from behind his desk. He should have stayed behind that desk. Whether she had her hands in her face in his face or not, the way to solve that problem is to send you home. Miss Irene, you're going. Sorry, I chose that name out the comment.
Miss Gonzalez. She was laughing at it too. She said, "LOL, not the ball." Yes, sis. He was cutting her, but they're like, "Y'all see how he knocked her in the back of her head?" He wasn't playing. He pulled that goddamn that divider back too, bitch. He threw that out the way. He said, "Wait a minute, this bitch, she put her head so big. She put her head so big." He could have just got that look back and just left it alone. But whatever, y'all. Come on now. Phone lines are open, 443-642-9403. Feel free anytime to come on and talk to me. Much love and respect to the peeps that's watching, getting it in with me in the comments. This is your views, our news. I'm ready to go on a break real quick, y'all, but I'm going to be back. We're going to start over at the beginning, a whole recap. But you know what it is, and you know what it is. It's more than like the done, so you better live. Come on back with me, y'all.
His whole point of doing this was, and basically, I think was in efforts to defend Donald Trump about the freedom of speech thing. But freedom of speech does come with a cost.
But that's what I was ready to say, though. But he was going to take it being free to tweet her away, because I was hearing it through the grapevine that he was going to, close it down on that level, and you had to pay.
Yeah, because it's hate.
Account.
Well, this is a great question.
That was the end of Twitter.
I don't know anybody's opinion on this. I don't think I've ever even asked anybody their opinion on this. Is hate speech free speech?
No.
Right.
No, and that in many spaces is against the law. You can't do it. You can speak freely, but you also will accept those consequences.
Right.
Right.
So you can speak. You can say whatever you want to say. That in essence is free speech. But you're going to accept those consequences. If you call somebody a fag or anything about Jewish people,
threatening somebody,
you're getting canceled. So in some cases, it's considered hate speech, which is against the law. So depending on what,
especially if it's coming off as a threat, or you bringing harm to somebody, or saying something so harmful that's going to cause somebody any type of.
But again, it has to be across the board, because who was that? Trump did that to two of the ladies that was.
His whole point of doing this was, and basically.
Hey, just like that, I'm back, living, feeling so blessed. Was just getting a rush talking about that mess, because I was like, baby, did my spirit get in him? Did Monty's spirit get in him? Did any of those bring it out? Because he wasn't for it. If you just now was here with me, you see we was viewing that fight that happened between a Spirit airline employee and also a passenger. Well, a passenger where he should have gagged her like they gagged Miss Marilyn Mosby and canceled that flight. But from the looks of it, he may be canceled. I hope that he did not lose his job, but that lack of professionalism, that's how they do it. You know, the enemy will show up and the enemy will get you and get you every time. So response is everything, y'all. We learn and we grow together. And now you know, if you are in a position to gag somebody, gag them. Let me do my whole little rundown from the show. We first was talking about the update of Brittany Griner, who they got over there in the Griner for 2 vape cartridges. Last week, I ran down the laws telling y'all that it was effective in 2006 in Russia, where they changed the possession amount from 20 grams down to 6 grams. That was within 2 years, because in 2004, they increased the level to 20. So if you had 20 grams or less, you would not be charged. You would instead be fined and a possible, I think, 90-day imprisonment or so. But that was it. Mind you, these 2 cartridges that the sister had didn't even weigh a gram, but they got her over there. And just like I was thinking, because I put everything in prayer, because I've been praying for the sister. We don't just say that, right? I was praying for the sister, and it came to me, and I was like, oh, Russia playing games. Who they trying to get back? And yes, indeed, they trying to get Mr. Bout, that arms dealer, back, switching them for Miss Griner. Go ahead and switch them off, Biden. Go ahead. Give them back. Get that sister back over here so she can be with her wife and be with her family. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It is
a mess, but I'm not sure I agree with that, though.
You don't agree with what?
So, trading him.
Trading him. Well, Moni, you're not the only one that disagree, because a lot of people are saying because of his crime that, yeah. Well, we know that they was up to that.
Realize what you said. He's an arms dealer. And
yeah, he's an arms dealer.
On the streets of Russia, of all places.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I got something to say, because if it was me, baby, let all of them free. Get me back over here so I can smoke some weed. Ms. Griner, I don't know if you
if you were in her shoes, yes.
Yes.
Or
yes.
even in her wife's shoes.
And that's where I'm speaking from.
Right, but they're at war. You got to realize Russia is already at war.
Yeah.
Giving them somebody that's going to sell them weapons ain't the best place to be.
Yeah. And that's exactly the point into why a lot of people are not agreeing and they're not down with it. But
right, you just adding somebody else to their arsenal. You're just giving them more things to do with more weapons.
Yeah.
They're already invading Ukraine. What else you want them to do? Next, they might have enough weapons to come here.
So very true. So very true. So that just all goes back to the fact that it was just all a political type of games that they play. That's really what it was. But stay up on it, y'all, because just like I said, the injustice anywhere can affect us everywhere. You better believe it. You better believe it, because guess what? Russia is definitely off of my taste buds. I ain't going. I was making the joke last week, but I was serious, baby. All them oils and stuff I be buying and all that. I've been had something in my bag. Just imagine they had some paraphernalia or anything, something that's sprinkled in your bag. You don't know it's illegal over there. What's going on, baby? And they would have grabbed me up, and then I'm over here, got to go in court. I'm limited. They don't want to give me translators. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what's going on. Baby, I would have been in that court. They were sentencing me. They would have been like 9 years. I'd have been told what they say. It's going to be over in 9 minutes. Because I would have gagged me. I would have fell out in there. So she's strong. She's strong. I can't. I don't live for that. I do not live for that. I hope that she gets to come home. Like, she's already put the case into appeal. And yes, those discussions are coming apart. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, it's their tactics to try to, they already under war, whatever, to get them guns or whatever, because of all people. You know, and they got her. If you want her back, give us him. We need him, and we need him right now. I mean, that's the gist of it. So we talked about that. And then I wanted to get y'all the update on that. But then also I brought up the fact that our very own Marilyn Mosby has been gagged, a gag order for her comment that she made on a social media platform to some sort of don't believe everything you read or don't believe everything you hear. Now, Representative Ms. Mosby says that she was speaking on a comment made that she had lost the election. However, the judge cited on whoever seen it and ran back, honey, because anything they can get on the queen, they ran back and she got a gag order. So it's a $1,500 fine or possible, no, it's just a $1,500 fine. However, if she stays to the demands of the gag order within the 90 days, she won't have to pay the fine, which is a blessing in itself because they are running her in the ringer with all of these legal fees. In regards to all of the other cases that she's fighting. And then also in the gist of that, they brung up on a hindsight about this guy who's been charged 4 times here for murder, Kevin something Jr. I done forgot his name already. However, all the times that he's been tried, it wasn't underneath her watch. It wasn't. And when he does get tried for the 5th time here in Baltimore City, she won't even be there to try him. She won't. So it's just crazy to me how they just make it seem like everything that's went down bad and everything that's happened in the bad in the land, it's all on Marilyn Mosby. She ain't do nothing wrong, but was for us. And once she was for us, baby, they was sending her to the back of the bus like Rosa Parks. They wanted her to go to the back of the bus. They've been for her head ever since. And if y'all don't see it like that, I don't know what to say. And then in addition to that, it was 25 officers. See, this be the thing too. That's why you got to read, you got to look up stuff because a lot of this stuff, we do not hear about it. I also talked about Heche. I got it, Monty. And Heche, like Haitian, who tragically died, who was pronounced dead. They pronounced her dead actually on August the 5th when she was involved in this fatal accident. However, they kept her on life support for 7 days all the way up to August the 12th to maintain her organs for a possible donor. I do hear that her organs were able to be donated to someone, which is a blessing. However, just the whole thing all together just got me to thinking, okay, they said Miss Heche. Look, I be keep on doing my look. Heche, Miss Ann, and no disrespect to her, was under intoxication on the initial toxicology report. They later came back and tried to clean it up, speculating that the narcotics found in her system could have been a result of her receiving some type of medical treatment. But she ran into someone's home, 10 feet into the home, causing a fire. I heard it completely destroyed the home, went up in the flames. If you look online and just see her vehicle, whatever, it's just terrible. Just to think, that this lady burnt up like that in that car, right? And then she was on this respirator or whatever for 7 days waiting to donate her organs. However, you don't hear nothing about nothing. You're not hearing no more about the people house that got burned up. You're not hearing no more about the drugs. And I get it because she's gone now. But the point that I'm making in saying that is that if it was a Black Hollywood star and something like that happened, whenever one of them died, that's the first thing they speculate. Drugs. And they would have still been talking about it. And of course, the charge or the investigation was dropped after her death. But you don't hear nothing. Did y'all hear anything? Y'all ain't hearing nothing. Y'all probably just hearing it here because that's what I'm gonna bring you your news and our views. So that's why I wanted to talk about it because I haven't been saying it. I've heard the announcing of the death and everything else like that. But they would have kept on playing that. How they disrespected Kobe Bryant. And it wasn't even nothing. And when he fatally, him and his daughter lost their lives and that plane was in there, the media leaked that. Look at the disrespect that they give us Black people. The media leaked that. No regard for his family, no nothing. He didn't do anything wrong. It was a tragic accident. And not even saying I don't even know because they not giving anything about it. I don't know. Only thing I know is that she supposedly was high and ran into this house and burned up. And Hollywood has lost another star. But my whole point was just to say that if it was a Black star, they would still be talking about all of the events that led up to this accident. They wouldn't just be giving the accolades. They would not. Why? Why do they do that? What's up with that? Why is white always got to be made to look right and Black just always have to look so whack? I was asking my son, who was the Michael who played in The Wire? As soon as he died, they didn't even know what happened. They just always say, oh yeah, he had substance abuse issues. And yeah, they just automatically was putting that out there without even knowing originally. That's how they do. Anytime a Black person or anything dies fatally or even unfatally, they bring up all the negative. They don't give them their accolades. They don't talk about how many movies, how many TV shows, what they gave back to the community. They wouldn't have been highlighting them being no donor. Baby, as soon as they would have drew that blood and I would have had narcotics in my system, they wouldn't have wanted my organs. That's what they would have kept on emphasizing on. That I was high, I ran into this house, I destroyed this lady's house. That's what they would have kept on emphasizing on. The events before that also says that she stopped into a salon that was like 3 miles out from where she was at in a town in Florida, and she purchased a wig. So I don't know where she was on her way to. I don't know what was going on. Maybe she just was having a girly day. Because that's another thing. People just act like, something has to happen. Death is so sudden. That's why I'm in a space in my life that I love who love me. I forgive you, but I never forget. If I ever did anything to hurt you, forgive me. And if you ever did anything to hurt me, I forgive you. But it just can't be forgotten. I ain't got nobody play with me. No, I'm not. Look, I'm getting a little bit off the subject, but I just was saying, like, I don't like that. I don't live for that. That if it was a Black person, they would still be talking about what you don't hear about it. You don't hear about nothing. And that's just how it is. That's how it is in the mainstream. That's how it is in Hollywood, period. How many of them Caucasians, them other nationalities deal with substance abuse? But they don't highlight that. They whitewash them. Yes, they do. They clean them up, white as snow. But let them find out something about you. Or what's going on with you. Or if a Black celebrity is even doing anything, smoke weed. Like how they doing Miss Griner. Like that's the worst of the worst. They had homegirl, they got her locked up for smuggling. Smuggling? Come on, cousin. And that's just the facts. That if it was a Black star, we would still be hearing about what led up to it. What was all of that? And, all of the messiness. We would have still been hearing about it. We would have still hearing about it. And why you don't hear about it?
Well,
what? Well, what?
I mean, I can't even actually say that what you're saying is necessarily false.
What?
I can't say that. That's what I'm saying. I can't say that. I can't say that it's false. Not on every narrative, but on the two examples that you gave just now, it is false. Because you said Brittany Griner, we're still talking about her. And it's been since February. So you can't compare those two instances because it's the same. They are getting the same play.
Wasn't really trying to compare them to instances. I talk and I talk and I talk. I was bringing her up just to say, like, when what we do, it's if it's a little peep of anything bad, they gonna make it like this. But it can be something bad like this, and they gonna shrink that bad part when it comes to them. But if it's like this with us, they gonna really, 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 really highlight it.
And I see what you're saying, but I'm trying to.
That's the point I was saying.
scenario.
You know what, Moni? You be misunderstanding me sometimes.
No, I got you. No, I got exactly what you said, but I'm trying to put that scenario in the same realm as
Well, take that out. Take that out.
Wasn't known, you know, Anne Heche herself wasn't known as a drug abuser, right? So, in light of finding out that she got into a major car accident and had drugs in her system, is what made it more lawfully. It made it more heavy because that's not what she's known for. We're known for seeing her in her movies and stuff like that, and then going home and being mom. But now we see a darker side, maybe call it the darker side of using cocaine, and then actually running into this accident. But this accident actually resulted in her dying herself.
Yes,
and that's a starlet loss, basically.
Yes, it is.
And I understand that where you were going with, you know, with the race factor, but I always thought, I mean, I just only wanted to step in and say something because I like to use case matters when it comes to race, because you can't try to blanket that happens in every situation because it doesn't. That's all I was just getting. Not that you were wrong. I'm not saying that you were wrong at all. It does happen.
Guess what?
I just say it's not a blanket thing though. It doesn't happen in every situation.
But just about
the Griner is different. The Griner situation is totally different. We've been talking about it since February.
Just about. See, it's just that Brittany Griner is on the back of my head, but it's just like this about. Basically, the point that I was trying to make is that they can never do. Never mind, Mom. You done made me lose my tail trying to do it.
I mean, no, you said
you done made my. You done tried it. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And what I was saying was
the victim. I mean, the perpetrator, I guess, would be.
But what I was saying was, if they would have found some little bit of alcohol in your system, they would have still been talking about everything that leads up to it. They would have really been highlighting the negative instead of, you know, all the positive parts, like how they are, you know, for her, which is right, which is only right or whatever. Because I always say, I never understand that why they bring up or why they focus so much on the negative when someone is gone. I guess the main point that I was trying to make is that when it comes to us and being Black, a lot of times in the media, a lot of times those are the things that they do emphasize on. Mm-hmm. They don't look at, you know, the positive or all the things that they are putting out about her being in this situation in the media, in the hindsight of things. You know, a lot of the things that I just shared with you all was things that I had to read. Of course, I seen on the television, on the news, they were reporting about her death, but all of the stuff that led up to it, the toxicology report, how far she was in the home and everything else like that, I actually had to go in and dig in deeper. Somebody was reporting it, but it's just not in, you know, it's not in like the in your face. What I was trying to make the point was the saying is that if it was a Black lady, it would have been in your face. But rest in peace to her. I lost my train of thought. Thank you. I like messing with him. I'm gonna mess with him some more on his show when he come back. That's Marnie, my awesome director and producer right here, the You Better Live radio show. You hear him right there in the back room. I call him the voice in the sky. Okay. But he's talking to me because I don't know why y'all didn't come talk to me today. I hope you come back and talk to me next Thursday at 7. I'm here every Thursday, 7 to 9. That's my birthday. I told you nothing happens miraculously. I'm destined to be here, and I'm here, and I'm gonna be here with y'all as long as God is willing, because this is his plan. So we talked about that. That was the update. We talked about the Anne Heche, the Marilyn Mosby being gagged, and we also seen that video of the Spirit airliner boy bringing down his spirit on his lady who must have had some spirits and lost her mind. So, okay, I'm gonna go over to the comments just to see some things. Okay, bro, joined me on the line, said the lady called him a nigga. That would have been done for me. Okay, on the words, this is my son too coming through there. Hey, mom, love you. You are doing great. Hey, you my great son, and I love you too. Thanks for joining me, showing me all the love in the world. I love my Najee. Yes, here on Better live, better live, better live. What we talk about next week, you're going to have to come back and find out, y'all. You're going to have to come back and find out. When we come through here, you know, I'll open up them lines shortly after just to give you that number. I don't have to keep shouting it out every 5 minutes. Come on, write it down. It's 443-642-9403. Don't be shy. Come on in here and talk to me. Like, share, and comment. Come back. Keep on showing your love. I gave a special shout out to some fam that I know have lost some loved ones. I forgot to speak on the Ross family, Brittany Ross, who just lost her mother, Romaine Ross, to the horrendous disease, illness, of cancer. My spirit definitely cries out for her. My mother has been battling for 10 years and remission just once. So I know what that pain is like to see someone you love so dearly go through something so traumatic and then lose their life. People fight is a battle, y'all. It's a battle. And people who lose their life, they fight so gracefully and so vigorously to the very end. So rest in peace, Miss Romaine Ross. Rest in peace to Nikayla, the young lady who lost her life to the 9 years old. We may talk about that a little bit more next week. I want to say rest in peace to Miss Sarah Stewart, a great from Chapel Hill Projects, Broadway Home Projects. That's Kevin, Jamie, and Brittany, and all of them. She definitely was a great, treated everybody like her own. Before I came on the show, was another great Miss Margaret Quarles, who passed away. I used to go over to the lady house and sit at her table, I'm telling you, for hours and hours on end and just talk. She was one of the people that I told about this. She's been in my life forever since I was a little child. So she's seen me through all my experiences on WLB. She's seen it, and I used to speak, and she used to always say, you know what, you better go for it. That's your thing. That's your thing. So all of those people, Poochie grandmother, Fee I'm sorry, I don't remember the queen name, but she recently passed. He used to always share videos of her online. I be tripping because mama used to get on them and tell them how they is. So yeah, y'all, just live, love, and pray for one another. Death is so sudden. It's always too sudden, and it's always too soon. Love who love you, and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Just like I said, what are we going to talk about next week? You're going to have to come back to find out about this. We still ending it up at 9, even though we was 30 minutes behind. That's just how it is. Time is time, and I ain't going to waste yours. But come back next week, Thursday, right here on Be Exposed Radio, Be Exposed Media, right here with the goddess, ChasReal, the Empress, Lady Cake Mix. Come on and talk to me. You know what it is, and you know what it gives. It's more to life to die, so you better live. Don't miss it, y'all. I love y'all, and see you.